guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to Earth to Rosita. So this is a channel where I mainly make vlogs, and they're mainly talking about like spiritual, kind of like philosophical things. So if you're interested in that kind of content, give this video a thumbs up. But anyway, let's get on to the video. So I feel really inspired to talk about this, and it's because of all the things that have been going on a lot during like all of these movements and activism coming out, especially like Black Lives Matter. One of the common themes that I've noticed a lot is for the past like month or so, people have kind of like, I mean, people have always done this, but I've seen it, like, it's really bothered me. It's been in my face a lot these days. It's like this whole like jumping on bandwagon thing, and this happens a lot, especially on Twitter. So there's a couple of things I wanted to like unpack in this video, and it's not just something that happens on social media. I think actually it mostly happens on social media, but I think that the reason for it is obviously because everybody wants a sense of community. People want to like fit in, they want to be a part of something, and all of that like psychology, like needing a sense of community type of thing. And that's fine. It's like, I mean, it's not fine if you're just kind of like doing it mindlessly. And that's what I wanted to address today. Mindlessly jumping on bandwagons at the expense of others. So, like, what I wanted to... There's a couple of things I could use as an example, and I'm guilty of this myself, but, like, I haven't really been a part of, like, jumping on bandwagons because I've, like, taken myself out of doing any activism work for a while now. But, like, for example, the Black Lives Matter activism and movement happening right now. There is so much misinformation. And for example, like that Blackout Tuesday, where everybody went nuts and like posted a square of just like a black square. And I was a part of this. I mean, to my credit, I wasn't exactly a part of it because I actually wrote in the square Black Lives Matter with a love heart, and that was in my handwriting. But we were told to delete it because it is trying to like, it's a distraction, pretty much. It was a distraction from real news. So that really shows, like, that example alone really shows how people just kind of like mindlessly go with something because it's emotionally driven. And it's okay to be emotionally driven as long as it is backed up with some evidence of something, backed up with legitimate information. And I understand that that can be very hard to do, especially if a movement is very close to your heart. By the way, I have like one of these in my mouth, so excuse me. I have a cold and I have a really bad headache. Okay, sorry, I'm getting off topic. What was I saying? Shit, sorry guys. It's hard to like be rational sometimes when you are kind of like directly being affected by something, or a cause or a movement is very close to your heart because of, you know, personal relation that you have to it, or it just triggers something in you that speaks your truth. But it's very important right now to like really question everything and not jump on bandwagons. So how exactly does one do this? Like, I think, okay, so the first thing that you can practice doing is, obviously, when you see a post about something, like click on the hashtags and see other things about it. Or, just do a quick Google search. I know that some people just don't have the time to do that. Or, so maybe just like ask the person who posted it. Or ask one of your friends. Or like even do a YouTube search about it. Maybe YouTube has videos, like a YouTuber made a video about it. And I say YouTube because, it's just sometimes easier for us to like watch something instead of read something. I'm guilty of this myself. So that's one way to maybe not properly educate yourself, but at least like get some different perspective on it. Or if you have like friends that are international, that are actually living in the country that is having the thing going on, ask them, because they're at the home of what's happening. The news really does like have a terrific way of like skewing the truth. I've had so many like friends that like just they have like one friend in Australia who said one thing. Okay, wait, that's a bad example. I have so many friends that hear news about what's happening in Australia, for instance. And a lot of it is just like, not misconceptions, but the media has a way of like exaggerating things. So I suppose that is where social media does come in handy. It really does. But even social media has its problems, which is so unfortunate because it's the only thing that we have that doesn't, like, that is directly, like, from the people, Nobody can paint it a certain way. But the trouble is certain people can paint it however they like as well. So I think one way that another way to avoid false information is to maybe just not read the comments, for example. Including maybe the comment of the person who actually posted it. AKA the caption of what OP wrote. This is because, like, for example, if you see a video, for instance, try to avoid, like, reading the comments and reading the caption, and just look at it yourself. This is because when you read, like, the caption that somebody has posted, they are already sharing their own thoughts about something. It just generally, like, leads to, like, us just agreeing with the person's perspective. And if you, like, really, like, it's very rare for us to, like, disagree with our friends. And even if we do disagree, because the common thought train of the people is to agree with the poster, the person who posts the thing, are siding with the person. We don't want to disagree or openly disagree because we don't want to be ostracized for having a different opinion. We don't want to, say no. I don't agree with you, and then point out these things about the situation or about why you don't agree with them, because it makes people feel afraid. Because, like, nobody wants to feel left out. It's just a natural response. When somebody disagrees, we've seen this when people say something controversial, and offensive, they get the most backlash, no matter how, like, maybe even valid their points can be. We have to, like, make an extra effort to not, like, I know this is extremely hard because this is a very, like, emotional time. I don't think I've ever seen a more emotional, intense time. Well, I'm pretty sure I have, but, like, this is pretty crazy. I feel like so much has happened in just 6 months alone of 2020, a new decade, that it's just an explosion of emotion now. Everyone's being cooped up in their homes, they haven't been able to go out, they've been stressed, and then, you know, this George Floyd situation happened, and it's just murder after murder after murder that is probably racially motivated. I'm from Australia, so I have an idea of the political climate over there, but I don't live in that world, so it's hard for me to fully, like, empathize. I mean, I can, but I'm not there, so I can't really understand it fully. I feel like it's just like everybody feels overwhelmed right now. And, you know, having a racist man in power that is supposed to be leading the country during a time like this is probably not helping at all with the environment and, like, people's emotions. Everyone is feeling a sense that something is unjust, and that's completely valid, but it doesn't give people the right to, like, go online and just throw daggers in the form of words to people, no matter how different somebody is. And I know that this is, like, such an idealistic fairy tale that I have, but I just don't think it's useful or necessary at this time to be mean to anybody because we have to release that somewhere. Fucking release it in a useful way. Don't go on social media and start bashing people for their opinions. If their opinions don't align with yours, there's no point arguing about it, okay? You're not gonna help the situation. You're not going to change their minds by being an asshole. You're just creating more division, more pain in another person who might be going through something you know nothing about, okay? If you see someone who's racist, just fuck them off. They've decided what they want to be, okay? You can't help them. You will never be able to help them out of that racist mindset. Just be anti-racist. If you see somebody who is expressing a message that they believe in, that you might not align with, before you write up your demeaning, shitty comments at them, take the time to step back, breathe, and ask yourself what this person actually means. Unless, of course, I'm not talking about racist people. I'm talking about controversial messages that might go outside of your way of thinking. This is the perfect time. This is the perfect time to think outside of the box. Okay? This is the perfect time to learn new information. This is the perfect time to try to understand where somebody else is coming from. It's not a time where we have to divide each other even more. It's not a time to get offended. It's a time to learn. It's a time to come from a place of love. That is the point of this year. And I just find it kind of ironic that this virus, COVID-19, was called coronavirus. I don't know, like, okay, I'm gonna screw this up really bad, but I read somewhere and I heard somewhere from one of my favorite YouTubers that the word corona is about knowledge. It's the crown chakra. It's related to crown chakra. And crown chakra is all about thinking. It's all about learning new information and knowledge. It's kind of like a representation of Aquarius. If you're into astrology, instead of like the chakras and stuff like that, it's the perfect representation of Aquarius. And this is the age of Aquarius, because Aquarius isn't, like, Saturn is in Aquarius right now. So this is no time to like be emotionally driven strictly. And I say emotionally driven strictly, quote unquote, because the age of Aquarius represents learning and change and originality through a humanitarian perspective. That is the whole point of Aquarius. That is what Aquarius represents. Aquarius is the water bearer, okay? So they are there to, like, if you think about the symbolism, the element of water, water is intuition. Water in astrology I'm talking about. Water is intuition. Water is feeling. Water is emotion. So it's very interesting that Aquarius specifically is the water bearer. So it's like man with a water, man with water. So what does that translate to when we think about it? So man is kind of like a masculine, okay? I know that's a very like surface level representation of masculine, because masculine is an energy, it's not a form. But the human world sees masculine typically as man. So that is why when we think of the water bearer, it's drawn up as a man. It's trying to, like, the language of, like, the meaning behind that is masculine energy flowing with water. So in astrology, we also see that all of the water signs are feminine. Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. So men thinking with emotion. Thinking with emotion. Now I'm just gonna like let you guys ponder on that yourselves. Thinking with emotion. Let me know what you think about that. What you think of the water bearer. Leave comments down below. So back to cyberbullying, essentially. People are cyberbullying, okay? Because when they see something controversial, no matter what it may be, they are going to get offended and they're going to try to release that. But this is no time to release it without thinking, okay? So leave your nasty comments and like divert that energy into something useful. And you know, what I said in the beginning of this video, what we discussed. Don't just hop on bandwagons. Think for yourself. Communicate with your friends. See other perspectives. It's Gemini season, so it's very important to do that. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to leave you guys with today. I really hope that you took something useful out of this video. This message needs to be spread, because I've seen so much ridiculousness, and I've been a part of that ridiculousness. I'm not gonna like be high and mighty. I've made my own mistakes, but yeah, it's not a time to lose your head, etc., etc. I hope you guys are having a lovely day or night. Americans, whoever is watching this in America, I hope you are safe. I hope your loved ones are safe. And I hope that you guys are taking care of your mental health. I know that's important right now as well. And have a lovely day or night. Bye, guys.